Hello, friends! In this video, we're diving into the backbone of how computers talk to us, ASCII. Ever wondered how your keyboard knows that pressing a key should show a specific letter on your screen? It's not magic. It's all about a secret code that's been the standard for decades. Let's break down what it is and why your computer couldn't function without it.
All right, to understand ASCII, we first have to remember one thing. Computers are actually pretty simple at their core. They don't see letters, colors, or emojis. They only see electricity. It's like a massive wall of light switches. Either they're on, which we call 1, or off, which we call 0. This is what we call binary. But since we can't realistically write our emails or search for videos using long strings of zeros and ones, we need a middleman to translate our alphabet into something the hardware can understand. That bridge is exactly what ASCII provides. It's essentially a giant lookup table that assigns a specific number to every character on your keyboard.
So what does ASCII actually stand for? It's an acronym for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Now, that's a bit of a mouthful, but the word standard is the one you really want to remember. Think of it like this. Back in the early days of computing, different companies had their own secret ways of representing text. It was a mess. One machine couldn't easily share a document with another because they were basically speaking different languages. ASCII changed everything by creating a single, universal standard that everyone agreed to use. It ensured that an A sent from one computer would still show up as an A on another. Now that we know the name, let's look at the actual map that makes this possible.
Now, look at this. The original ASCII standard was designed as a 7-bit system. In computer terms, that means it had enough space for exactly 128 unique combinations, numbered from 0 to 127. Think of it like a restaurant menu, where every single dish has a specific number. If you order a 65, the kitchen, or in this case the computer, knows exactly that you want an uppercase A. If you order a 97, it's a lowercase a. This might seem like a small detail, but to a computer, A and A are completely different dishes with their own unique codes. This range of 128 slots was plenty of space to cover the entire English alphabet, numbers 0 through 9, and all your basic punctuation marks. But not everything in the ASCII table is a character you can actually see on your screen. Some of them are hidden commands that tell the computer what to do.
Now, look at this. Not every slot in that 128-character list is meant to be a letter or a number. In fact, the first 32 positions, from 0 to 31, are reserved for what we call control characters. These are essentially invisible commands. Think of it like the hidden formatting marks you can turn on in Microsoft Word. You don't see them on the printed page, but they tell the computer exactly how to handle the text. For example, when you press the Enter key to start a new line or use backspace to fix a typo, ASCII is sending a specific number code that tells the machine to perform an action rather than just display a symbol. Even the Escape key has its own dedicated slot. So if the first 32 slots are for commands, what about the rest? Let's look at how the alphabet we actually use is organized.
All right, let's look at the stars of the show, the printable characters. These occupy slots 32 through 126, and they are the characters you see on your screen every time you type. Now look at this. The very first printable character at slot 32 is actually the space. Even though it looks like nothing, the computer treats a space as a real character with its own specific code. After that, we have our punctuation and numbers. But notice how the alphabet is organized. All the uppercase letters are grouped together in one block, and the lowercase letters are in another. This organization makes it super easy for programmers to do things like convert text to all caps. They just have to add or subtract a specific number from the ASCII code to jump between the two blocks. This system worked perfectly for years, but there's a catch. 128 slots is a very small closet when you start thinking about the whole world. Pretty simple, right? But here's the catch. While 128 slots were perfect for the early days of computing in the US, the world is a much bigger place. ASCII was built specifically for the English alphabet.
But what happens when you need to type a letter with an accent in Spanish, or use an entirely different script like Hindi or Japanese? Or even something we all use every single day, emojis. Since those 128 spots were already filled, the system literally ran out of room. This led to the creation of extended ASCII, which doubled the space to 256 slots, but even that wasn't enough for every language on Earth. This is why we eventually moved to Unicode, which supports millions of characters. But the coolest part? The first 128 characters of Unicode are still exactly the same as the original ASCII table we just looked at, keeping that standard alive decades later.